I'm your huckleberry.
Well, there's thunder, there's lightning. John Nada. Be a short video today. You know, I've talked about this a lot on the program about the illusion, the whole thing. And when we talk about things like one-itis and the one and all that, and people getting really wrapped up in a particular girl or whatever, what it really is, what it really comes down to is illusion. We've said it on here many times. One woman, many faces. Um, and a lot of the red pill rage that people deal with is in terms of coming to the realization that they're not mad at the person. They're not at loss over losing the person, but it's over losing the idea. The idea that person represented, the hopes and dreams that that person represented. And it's not only that, but the realization of the loss of time and energy. You know, you spend so much time that, you know, if you focus on one girl or you focus on multiple girls, a lot of time and energy is put into this. And a lot of guys, you know, spend some formidable years of their lives putting this time and energy in for it to really not result in a whole lot. I mean, at the most, maybe you get a few happy moments, a few happy experiences. Maybe you get some mediocre sex. Maybe you get, you know, for some people, the ultimate thing would be to marry this person. And yet, anymore, that's just a more heightened form of dating because it's so easy to dissolve a marriage these days and happens so frequently and so easily. And so marriage doesn't even really mean much anymore. I mean, people can be married 10, 14 years, 8 years, and then out of the blue, the other person decides that they don't want it anymore. And so there's no permanency in that either. So at the most, you know, you spend a lot of this energy, this time, lose a lot of your peace over this stuff. And for what? A 10-second muscle spasm? That could then go on to ruin your life even more if you get the person pregnant. So I don't know. It's just some thoughts I had on things. You know, you put all and especially too, like it can seem like things are going so well with somebody, and then the next thing you know, you're blindsided, or you know, it come to find out they've been hiding things from you and weren't as interested as they seem to be. So now you've spent weeks or months or whatever trying to basically convince somebody that they need you in their life. So, you know, this isn't a particularly enlightening video. It's just some thoughts that I've had. When you kind of just come to that realization that the thing you're seeking doesn't exist, then you can kind of put that behind you and move on. And so oftentimes, you know, in tragic situations, you know, you get in a car wreck or you lose a loved one or whatever the case may be, the question is always, why me? And there really is no answer to that. I mean, why not you, right? It had to be somebody. Why not you? I mean, what makes you any more special than anybody else? But the real question, I guess, that should be asked in that situation, and when we talk about MGTOW, I believe that this is a question oftentimes overlooked by many of us. It's not why me, or it's not why this or why that. It's the real question is what now? What next? And that's going to be different for each and every one of us because it's just men going their own way. These are, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's path will not look the same. You've got to, in a sense, find your own truth. And for me, it may be different than what it might be for somebody else. So that's really the crux of it. I mean, there's a lot of things in MGTOW, a lot of different ideas and philosophies. And I've heard it said there are many red pills. And I do believe that that's true as well. But the ultimate heart of MGTOW, I think for all of us, regardless of what path we choose to go on, is that of self-realization, that of self-actualization, and self-reliance. It's the realization that in a large sense, we're it. There's nobody coming to save us. There's no Messiah coming to deliver us or rescue us from the pit that we've made for ourselves. It's going to be entirely on us to create the kind of life we want, not just in terms of material possessions or monetary standings or status standings or all those other kind of external things, but in a very real sense, it's up to us who we become. It's up to us who we forge our spirits and ourselves to ultimately end up being. And what I want for this channel, and I want to thank everybody for the support that they've shown me. I know this isn't a hugely subscribed to channel, and that was never the intent for me to start this channel. The intent was always to take the experiences that I've had and the different wisdom that I've gained through pain and the agony and ecstasy of life, and to try to convey that down as other MGTOW teachers have conveyed to me. And I know that I speak to some. I certainly don't speak to all, and I'm certainly not everybody's cup of tea, just as I'm sure other content contributors are not necessarily my cup of tea or somebody else's cup of tea. But within it all, we have a swirling kind of bastion of knowledge and wisdom and experience. And so with that, I just want to encourage you guys to not forget what brought you to MGTOW, but don't get stuck in the minutia. Don't get stuck in one place. Don't be stuck in the past experiences or the negative aspects and things that started you to question and open your eyes and realize. But always be looking forward, moving forward, and trying to make your way through, blazing your own trail, because certainly no one else will. So it's up to you to walk the path that's set before you. So with that being said, I wish everybody the best of luck on their journey. I'm sorry that this wasn't maybe a more enlightening video. A lot of times I feel like I have a good point, and then other times I just speak from the heart in a manner of speaking. And I just feel like a lot of times we get lost on our way. There's certainly many snares and traps and twists and turns on the road, but we have to remember how we got here, and we have to look forward to where it is we ultimately want to go. And with that being said, you are free to do as you choose. This has been John Nada in the Days of Thunder.